Hey, good day, everybody. Yeah, live and well. Steve Prusbrowski here. Welcome to tip 67 in the series 101 Tips to Ace Your Promotional Exam. As a reminder, my website, code3firetraining.com, has lots of great resources on there. Check it out if you haven't done so. And also, this series is based on my latest book from Fire Engineering Books and Videos, available off their website as well as mine there. And then you also got a 25% off code at the bottom if you haven't checked that out already. So, in the last tip, 66, we're 2/3 of the way through the tips here. We still got another third of the way to go, another 34 or so. The last tip, tip 66, we talked about strive to read at least one fire service leadership book every opposite month. Now, tip 67 is going to get into the other month. So let's say odd months or even, I don't care, odd or even months. You chose tip 66, the fire service leadership books. Now, the other month, hey, try to aim for a non-fire service leadership book. This really expands your horizons and I think can give you a lot more different ideas. Now, before I get any farther, the last tip, 66, I know I shared some of my most favorite books that I still have in my library that I enjoy reading and I've enjoyed reading and I share with others and try to pass on and inspire others to also read and check out. One of the other books, again, I know there's many books that I left out, so don't take it personal if you were the author of one of those other books. And hey, Steve didn't mention on tip 66. Hey, I can't mention everything and I'm sorry. But one of the biggest things that I know I failed to mention was Chase Sargent. Chase Sargent was Chase Sargent's a good, solid dude, retired chief out of Virginia Beach, Virginia, still teaches at FDIC. He wrote the Buddy to Boss book and he just did the updated version of it about a year or so ago. Buddy to Boss. I mean, I think this is the standard that every company officer should read. A lot of great nuggets, resources, plus obviously chief officers can gain some information, but I just wanted to mention at least Buddy to Boss. Now, non-fire service leadership books. Before I show you some of the ones that I have in my library, let me talk about some basics. Now, you may think about, why do I need to branch out to non-fire service books? I'm in the fire department. I'm going to do this for the next 20, 30, 40 years. It's my career and I don't want to do anything else. I get it. Well, if nothing else, it's going to branch out, broaden your horizons. While it's great to stay engaged with fire service related stuff, it's amazing what you can gain knowledge wise when you look at other non-fire service books. Which ones to pick up, how to find them. Now, which ones to pick up, I'll share some here, how to find. Obviously, you're not going to probably find them on like Fire Engineering Books and Videos website. I mean, because it's fire service based. Obviously, Amazon, eBay, just going down to your local Barnes and Noble. I mean, just doing a social media post. I've seen people post on social media before questions such as, hey, I'm looking for a good non-fire service or fire service related book. Which one should I check out? And it's amazing what people will share with you. I mean, everyone's got an opinion and there's a lot of great resources. Now, some of my favorites that I've checked out over the years for various reasons. One of the books titled The Energy Bus. The Energy Bus by John Gordon is a good, easy read, and it's got a lot of ideas. I mean, 10 rules to fuel your life, work, and team with positive energy. That one was shared to me by my buddy, Chief Billy D. Hayes. Billy is the one that turned me onto this book, and I'm glad I had a chance to check it out. It's, I think, an awesome book with a lot of great nuggets in there. Another old time tested book from Stephen Covey, 7 Habits of Highly Effective People. I mean, this is one I've had for years, but again, lots of little nuggets in there that are applicable to all people from all walks of life. Pause the Van Halen. I know most of us probably love Van Halen, but pause Van Halen until after. Don't need the background music for now, at least. Another great book, It's Your Ship. It's Your Ship from Captain Michael Ebershoff. Not sure if I butchered that name, but It's Your Ship is a great book to provide some management tips from the Navy. I mean, he put this book together and I still look at this book and reference this book today with a lot of great things. Another book, I don't have the cover, but it's called Leadership on the Line. Leadership on the Line. This was a book when I was going through the National Fire Academy's Executive Fire Officer program. And if you're a chief officer or aspiring chief officer and you haven't checked out the Executive Fire Officer program or the Managing Fire Officer program through the National Fire Academy, check it out. Awesome way to increase your knowledge, skills, and abilities, not to mention network and gain relationships, build relationships. You get to meet a lot of great people, and you learn a lot of things about yourself, but also about, the fire service and private industry that can benefit you in your position in the fire service. But Leadership on the Line, the authors were Heifetz and Linsky. This was one of our required readings that we had to do before class. And it wasn't a fire service book. It was a business book, but we were required to read it because it discussed and exposed us to change in the fire service, looking at things from the bigger picture, from the strategic level, so I think there's a lot of good resources there. Another book, Jocko, probably many of you, if you're in today's world and, the fire service, and you haven't heard of Jocko Willink, the ex-Navy SEAL, Jocko Willink and Leif Babin, they've got a series of books they put together. They've got great podcasts, very inspirational, extreme ownership, Jocko's, check the books out. There's a lot of great, stuff that Jocko's put together. The podcast, I still enjoy listening to the podcast those guys put together. Very inspirational and very, helps keep me engaged. But some other books that are good out there. This one I don't have the cover for, but 5 Dysfunctions of a Team, sort of hard. You're looking at this going, shit, Steve, I'm going to get my magnifying glass out to read this, but it's called 5 Dysfunctions of a Team from Patrick Lencioni. Patrick Lencioni has written a number of business books, but 5 Dysfunctions of a Team, there's a lot of, hey, we work in a team environment and teams have their ups and their downs. And, you, especially as a company officer, chief officer, better be able to manage, lead, supervise that team. Another book that was very beneficial, titled Going Pro. Going Pro, Tony Kern was the author. This is one, Gordon Graham, the retired California Highway Patrol officer. Gordon Graham is a name that I'm assuming, have heard, because Gordon is taught at conferences across the world. He's a very well-known speaker. The best predictor of future behavior is past behavior. That's Gordon Graham. The dude is hilarious, but he's also spot on with a lot of leadership ideas and, things that can benefit you. He's very applicable to the fire service. Don't think he's just a cop. No, he's very applicable to not just law enforcement, but fire and industry, and any industry. But Going Pro, he gave me this book. I ran into him at one of the local diners about a couple blocks from our house one morning. It was just out of the blue on a Sunday morning. My wife and I were having breakfast, and I'm like, shit, that looks like Gordon Graham there. And sure enough, he's there. It's a Sunday morning. The guy's in a suit. He was teaching for San Jose Police Department. And it was funny because I'm like, Gordon, how you doing? And we had a chance to talk, and he sent me this book, and it was very, I don't know what his relationship to it was, because he wasn't the author, but it was a good book, and I'm glad he shared it with me. So Going Pro, that was a good book there. Some other books I got here. Now, leadership can cover a wide variety of things. And one of the things that a leader has to do is obviously speak, whether it's speak to your crew, speak in front of groups of people, especially the higher up the ranks we go, we're going to be public speaking. And besides just leadership, management, supervision, you got to be you got to be a great communicator. This book about TED Talks, and if you've never heard of TED Talks are short and sweet talks. Google TED Talks, go to YouTube, TED Talks, 20 minutes or less typically, where one person has to get up there and really engage, inspire, motivate an audience in a short amount of time. Not an hour, 2-hour class session, but in 20 minutes or less. Because as we know, or you may not know, adults in today's world and children have shorter attention spans, and we need things in shorter bites. So Carmine Gallo is the author, and the 9 public speaking secrets, like Talk Like TED, the 9 public speaking secrets of the world's top minds. It's about public speaking. I've been someone that's been very fortunate to speak in 36 states, or teach classes, speak, present, whatever you want to call it. 36 states. I still teach the college. Been teaching at FDIC since 2009. I've been very fortunate to present over 400 plus sessions, I think it is at last count, around the country. I enjoy speaking and having a good discussion with like-minded professionals, but I'm always trying to learn that edge of how I can be a better public speaker. Even at FDIC every year, I look at those course evaluations, and I want to know how to improve. I want to know what I'm doing good, and I want to know what I'm sucking at. I mean, we all suck at something, and we're all good at something. So public speaking, there's a lot of public speaking books. I mean, I could look at my library and there's a lot of books on leadership, but also speaking, because again, I'm always trying to look for those little nuggets and edges to be able to be a better speaker. Now, besides some of those that I showed you, now I'm a big music fan. If you haven't figured out by now, I mean, I love rock music, heavy metal, country. I mean, there's some rap I like. I mean, I like all types of music. Heavy metal, hard rock is my preferred music, but I also like reading about a lot of musicians that have put out books, athletes that have put out books, because a lot of athletes have put together leadership books out there that are very beneficial. Well, one of the books I was reading lately, Iron Maiden, one of my favorite bands. I mean, I have loved Iron Maiden since day one, 40 plus years ago, it seems like, when I first heard, that first album that came out in 1980, and it's like, damn. But Bruce Dickinson, the singer, put out his autobiography. You may go, well, Steve, that has nothing to do with leadership. Yes, it does. I mean, it talks about his career, but there's a lot of nuggets you can gain, not just from business folks, but private industry, musicians, athletes, from their challenges, their successes, their failures, and I look at some of these, it's like I said, Bruce Dickinson right here. Another one I just got from in the mail the other day, Frank Bello. Anthrax is one of my favorite bands as well too. Frank Bello, the bass player for Anthrax, just put together his autobiography. And again, I haven't checked it out, but I know there's going to be some leadership nuggets in there, besides having some entertainment. So broaden your horizons, plus have fun at it. I mean, I don't know about you. We're all different. Not everyone likes to read. I get it. But in today's world, it's critical, I think, to, be able to be that one that has a broad horizon of things that they can share with others. Even if you don't want to be a public speaker, that's fine. Not everyone's meant to teach a class in front of 20, 30, 40, 500 people. But if you're a company officer, chief officer, especially, you're going to have to be providing training to your crews. So be comfortable being a speaker, and, just have fun with it as well too. And again, with Amazon today, you can get a lot of books I buy are used books, and I can get them pretty cheap. Not that money. I mean, get more books that way, because I know books are expensive. So closing this out, while reading fire service books, including leadership ones, can be extremely beneficial, so can reading non-fire service leadership books, as some of the ones I've shared with you here. I mean, obviously I could talk for hours and days on some of the best books that I've had out there. I mean, there's just, again, lots of stuff out there. You go to Amazon, you go to whatever website, Fire Engine Books and Videos, start going down those rabbit holes, because usually once you find one, then you go, wow, there's that, oh, I like, so-and-so ex-retired football player or baseball player or hockey player, again, go down those paths, see what you can find. If nothing else, they'll expand your thought process, expose you to ideas you may not normally have been exposed to, and make you a better person, plus maybe finding some other things to share with others. So as always, thank you very much for the gift of your time. Please feel free to reach out if I can be of any assistance to anybody, if you want more information on some of these books. Hey, and until the next time, y'all be safe, take care, and we'll see you soon. Have a great day, everybody.